You all right, Father?
Yes.
Jerry, just this way. Jerry. Just to your left, Jerry. Jerry, just this way. Jerry, to your left.
I want to welcome you all here. I want to, on behalf of Republicans across Ireland, on behalf of Sinn Féin activists, elected representatives, on behalf of every person who looked on, shocked and disgusted at the turn of events over the last 4 days, to extend the warmest of welcomes and the warmest of returns to our party president, Gerry Adams, TD. To proceed as follows. Gerry has a statement to make, remarks to make. We will take some questions at the end. I would ask you to bear with us in trying to do that. And finally, to say that once these proceedings are concluded, all of us look forward to getting back again out on the electoral trail with our team of candidates right across Ireland, north and south, east and west. Gerry.
Okay, go to meet my agad, agus míle buíochas Mary Lou. Well, dus caiim mé rá go bhfuil is agam, go bhfuil bhain Jean McCampbell agus a chláán ag crí an trágáid seo. Agus tá mise agus Sinn Féin ag dheanú ar níhil chun éagóir a chur, an éagóir sin a chur I gceart. Tá méid ag tógáil an síocháin a chur chun tosaigh. Agus hui mé féin ag an barraig an intrum, mar sin ní mé ag garan bhui sin. Ach bhí rogha ag na pés, bhí rogha ag na políní. Ní rú mé a lorg privilegí ar bí speisialta. Ach tá sé go háan tábhachtach go bhfuil daoine sásta go bhfuil na políní ag gobar go cóir from. Is leir tá sé go háan sa leir go bhfuil náad na prósés sehanna ag gobar go fáil. Ach ní bheith bua acu. Tá muintir na tír seo an éileán seo, muintir na hurlan, ar bóthir sehanna. Protestúnig, Catholic, daoine eile. Agus tá siad a lorg siacaí nó siocaí níos fearr, agus tá an ceart sin acu. Ba bhaidim a buíochas a thuirt de daoine a chur banachtaí de chléit agus ar gláán, agus go háirithe de comrádathe an Sinn Féin agus cairde eile. You have to bear with me because this is slightly longer than normal remarks to a press conference. I came voluntarily from the Dáil in Dublin to Antrim Barracks last Wednesday, having contacted the PSNI 2 months ago through my solicitor Seamus Collins to tell them that I was available to meet with them following yet another spate of media speculation, part of a sustained, malicious, untruthful and sinister campaign alleging involvement by me in the killing of Mrs. Jean McCampbell. When the PSNI contacted my solicitor on Monday afternoon, I was concerned about the timing, given that Sinn Féin is involved in a very important European election and local government elections across the island of Ireland. But I quickly made arrangements to go to Antrim, and I left Leinster House, the Oireachtas, during leaders' questions with the Taoiseach to do so. I want to thank my solicitor Mr Collins for his diligence and professional approach, and his colleague Eugene McKenna. I also want to thank everyone who sent messages, goodwill messages to Colette and our family, and to my comrades in Sinn Féin for their solidarity. Tá mé fuir deepse a leak. I am conscious that there is another family at the heart of all of this, and that is the family of Jean McConville. Let me be very clear. I am innocent of any involvement in any conspiracy to abduct, kill or bury Mrs McConville. I have worked hard with others to have this injustice redressed and for the return of the bodies of others killed during the conflict and secretly buried by the IRA, and I will continue to do so. The commission set up by the two governments, at my request and at the request of the late Father Alex Reid, has said that it is receiving 100% support from Republicans. Indeed, myself and Martin McGuinness were to meet the Commission. We do this privately around this time as part of this work. I'm mindful also that tomorrow is the anniversary of the death and hunger strike of H-Block martyr Bobby Sands. Sitting in my cell in recent days, I reflected on that and on the dreadful summer of 1981. But of course, this is not 1981. This is not 1972. The people of this island, with a few exceptions, have carved out a new dispensation. So while the past needs to be dealt with, and Sinn Féin is up for doing this, including the issue of victims and their families, there can be no going back. There is no possibility of going back. Peace needs to be built with determination and a consistent focus. That remains my attention, my commitment, and Sinn Féin's constant endeavour. I bear no animosity to anyone. I have no wish to be treated differently from anyone else. I'm an activist. This is my life, and I am philosophical, and I understand that I have detractors and opponents, and I especially understand that there are sinister elements who are against the change that Sinn Féin and others are committed to achieving. I did not go to Andrew Barracks expecting special treatment, but it is crucial that everyone is treated fairly. And I seek fair treatment, not just for myself, or only for myself, but because it's crucially important that the signal goes out, that everybody knows that these are changed times, that things have changed, that they will be treated fairly, and that we can all have hope and confidence in the new developing dispensation, including the police service. To send any other signal is to encourage the bigots. So I make the case that those who authorised my arrest and detention could have done it differently. They had discretion. They did not have to use pernicious, coercive legislation to deal with a legacy issue, even one as serious as this, which I was voluntarily prepared to deal with. They did not have to do this in the middle of an election campaign. Remember, I contacted them 2 months ago. Despite this, I want to make it clear that I support the PSNI. I will continue to work with others to build a genuinely civic policing service. The old guard, which is against change, whether in the PSNI leadership, with an elements of unionism, or the far fringes of self-proclaimed but pseudo-republicans, they can't win. The dark side of the British system cannot be allowed to deny anyone, any of our people, Catholic, Protestant or dissenter, from our entitlement to a rights-based, citizen-centred society as set out in the Good Friday Agreement. I'm an Irish Republican. I want to live in a peaceful Ireland based on equality. I've never dissociated myself from the IRA, and I never will. But I'm glad that I and others have created a peaceful and democratic way forward for everyone. The IRA is gone. It's finished. During my interrogation, much was made by my interrogators about my time in the 60s, in the civil rights campaign, my arrest and detention in Palace Barracks in early 70s, my time in Long Cash, even the peace talks in 1972, newspaper articles, photographs of myself and Martin McGuinness at Republican funerals were produced. Books and other open source material was used as the basis of many of the accusations made against me. Much of the interrogations concerned the so-called Belfast Project, conceived by Paul Bew, university lecturer and a former advisor to Unionist leader David Trimble, and run by Ed Maloney and Anthony McIntyre as part of the Boston College. Both Maloney and McIntyre are opponents of the Sinn Féin leadership and our peace strategy, and have interviewed former Republicans who were also hostile to me and other Sinn Féin leaders. They have accused us of betrayal and sellout, and said we should be shot because of our support for the Good Friday Agreement and policing. The allegations of conspiracy made against me in the killing of Mrs. McConville is based almost exclusively on hearsay from unnamed, alleged Boston College interviewees, but mostly from Dolores Price and Brendan Hughes. Other anonymous, alleged Belfast Project interviewees, interviewed only by a letter of the alphabet. So I was told that interviewee R or interviewee A had made such and such a comment in an interview. One of these is claimed by the PSNI to be Ivor Bell, although the interrogators, when I pressed them, told me that he's denied the allegations. I reject all the allegations and rejected all the allegations made against me in these tapes. Finally, let me make it clear, because I'm fairly certain that people are concerned, and this is not about me. This process of change, this necessary development of an open, citizen-based, rights-centred society is bigger than any individual, so I'm irrelevant. But let me make it clear that there's only one way for our society to go, and that's forward. No way back. There will be bumps on the road, and yes, we do have to deal with the past, and Sinn Féin have set out our intention to do that, and our willingness to support the Haas and Megan O'Sullivan proposals and our other propositions to do that are there for everyone to see. But there will be diversions as well. But most importantly, there are elements out there who are actively erecting obstacles, actively seeking to put up diversions. So we know that. I thank everyone for their support. I extend sympathy once again to the McConville family and all those who have suffered, especially at the hands of Republicans. So that clearly is a special responsibility for us, especially those of us who survived the conflict, to deal with. So my resolve, and I'm sure the resolve of this leadership, remains as strong as ever. That is to build the peace, not to let this put us off, not to let anyone use this as an excuse, not to let anyone, whether it's in the dark side or within the individuals who try to prevent us from leaving the barracks, not to let any of those stop citizens here having their full rights and entitlements. It's up to all of us, and there is a role here for civic society, for church leaderships, for trade unions, for governments, and for every citizen out there. It's our future. The past is the past. The future is about children. The future is about grandchildren. The future is about the rights of citizens to live in an Ireland in which everybody can be comfortable. So don't let anyone rob our people, all of our people, of that right. We need equality and we need justice for everyone. Go to Mila Margrove.
Well, I'm of course very relieved and pleased that Gerry has been released. I think what we have seen here has been a very contrived political action in his holding and questioning for 4 days. I think certainly from the statement that he's given here at the press conference, it's clear that those concerned were on a fishing expedition. No new evidence was presented to stand up any charge, and therefore there have been no charges. And I think now the priority has to be for all of us, firstly within Sinn Féin, to continue with our electoral efforts. We're running an outstanding slate of candidates right across the country. We are going to do everything within our power to get all of those elected, to build on the confidence and trust that we have with a growing section of the electorate. And then, of course, we have to turn our attention to the peace process itself, standing foursquare on the side of progress, of change and of equality, and facing down any element, be it within the policing system here in the north, or be it within the political system north or south, that would seek to in any way undermine the progress that we have made. And Gerry put it best when he said we're on a decided course, a single road to peace, to reconciliation, to stability, to equality. And that's going to challenge people, but that's the road we're on, and there's no going back. There will never be any going back.